This is perfect. This is perfect for my channel. I'm very excited to read the first 5 comments from a video I just published a couple of hours ago called 4 Weeks After Zero Guard Buzz Cut, 4th Week of New Job. So I'm gonna read all 5 comments that I've received. They all basically say the same thing. And I agree with what's being said here. Okay, so here's the first one. Quote, yeah, your hair definitely looks better when it is shaved compared to now. I also think it is partly the conditions you're in. They are absolutely horrendous for exposing hair loss. The next one, quote, I'm starting to think you're a Norwood 3. The next one, shave your head again. This looks pretty bad. All the best from Austria. Next, hang up your towel next shell, headed towards a Norwood 3. You did good, bud. And it's an emoji of someone unplugging an electrical cord there. And then lastly, looks literally like, so there we go. Those are the 5 comments. Again, I'm in agreement with all of these. I'm very self-aware that this is going to be, in theory, the worst week for me, week 4 of the growing out the zero guard buzz cut from about a month ago. So this is everything I expected it to be. And you know, I was prepared for this. Here's what I want to address in this video. This is basically the middle of a trilogy. You're watching the middle of a trilogy. The first part, which I'll put a link to in this video, was the day about just a couple months ago in February when I had a regular hairstyle, and then you actually watch me do the zero guard buzz cut. Because in that video, you can look at my hair just a couple months ago before I shaved it off, and you can see how it went from looking good, decent, to the zero guard. So it went from good to good, or good to great, however you want to say that. But right now, this is at its worst. So here's what's interesting. A comment that I haven't received in months, that I usually get on this channel for years. I've been getting it. It'll be someone who's never seen my channel before. It's the first time to watch my channel. And they'll say something like this, and with just a punk attitude. You can't have a channel about hair loss. You have too much hair for a 37-year-old. You need to stop making videos. You need to stop worrying about your hair because you have too much hair. So those comments I haven't received in months. But mark my word, here we are at the end of May. I'm gonna say give it till August. By the end of the summer, we're at the beginning of the summer, I'll give it to the end of the summer. By then, my hair will be longer than 1.5 inches, meaning that's long enough to cover up the thinning. The sides will still remain probably decently short. And those comments are gonna return. People who, there's 4,200 of you now subscribing, that number is gonna be higher, by the end of the summer. Some of those newcomers and some people just watching my channel for the first time, like a whiny baby, are going to basically be saying that I don't deserve to have a hair loss channel because I've got too much hair for a 37-year-old. Those comments will return. But have you noticed that? I haven't received a comment like that since I buzzed off my hair. The focus is on how bad my hair looks now that I've been growing it out. But mark my word, it's gonna happen again. Those comments will return. You don't deserve to have a channel because you have too much hair. How dare you talk about hair loss? And then they're gonna say, I'm only 20, and then they're gonna compare to there. That whole mentality is going to return in August, okay? Because it's an illusion. My hair is just as thin as it was when I shaved it off in February, and I know that. It's not like it's gotten just dramatically worse in 3 months. And 3 months from now, when I have a hairstyle again, people aren't gonna be talking about this anymore. They're gonna be bashing me for having too much hair to have a hair loss channel at age 37, okay? So to prove this, as the prophet that I am, I'm gonna put the link to this video and that one in August 2018, when I make that video. And then that way you can click the link and watch this video. And what I'm also gonna do in this exact video is put a link to the video where it shows me shaving it off. So what I wanna do with this trilogy, with the first video, you see me just in February with having normal hair. I went from good looking hair to zero guard buzz cut. Look good both ways. Then you're gonna see this one in the middle where I look my worst because it's been about a month since I've done my zero guard buzz cut. My thin is exposed. The hairline looks worse than it is. And then flash forward to the end of the summer and people are gonna be upset with me for talking about hair loss. It's the cycle, it's so predictable. And I've said before, I reduce people not to hair loss, but to psychology. People are so predictable. And it's just a matter of what you're seeing. It's a matter of that little snippet. It's what's taken out of context. So this is part 2 of the trilogy being filmed in May of 2018. Let's wait until August and I'll be able to do part 3, but I will link them to each other to make it very obvious of what's going on. Lighting has a lot to do with it, me being outside versus inside, and hair length has a lot to do with it. Imagine how many men have hair this thin and you never know it because they keep the right hairstyle. This is part 2 of the trilogy. Check out the link that I put in here to travel back to February. And then in the future, you can travel back to this point, back to the future, back to the past. I'm confused. But part 2, that's where we're at right now.